Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host, Iggy, and today we're going to continue the theme of cheap toy soldiers. However, we're going to do a little competition here. We're going to pit American made toy soldiers against toy soldiers made in England. Now, ground floor, we have Britain's detail figures. These are all made in England with the exception of the two with oblate, what is it, oblate spheroid? Is that, no, elliptical bases. Iggy's trying to sound intelligent, but he's not. He doesn't get away with anything. Um, so they're elliptical bases, and they're not metal like the original Britain's detail figures, which are kind of like a club cracker, only in sort of a Kelly green. The reason why my two that are not, let's see if what they say on the bottom, guys. It says Britain's made in China, whereas these are Britain's made in England, which I prefer. And oh, that was a great 10 seconds of my hand. See that? Britain's, well, it was focused. There we are. Britain's Limited, 1971, made in England. I love those. And of course, we have on this side the German troops. Now, one of the problems with the officer is he's holding a map, but unfortunately, the sticker that goes on his tablet there uh, dries up and falls off, and God knows what happened to it. I have no idea. It's interesting. He's got a 1970s haircut, complete with sideburns. I never noticed that before. I don't think there's a German officer that would look like that back in the day. However, he would fit in pretty good with the officers in on the Death Star in Star Wars. They had sideburns. And then over on this side, we have the Brits with one. How'd that American sneak in there? I think I was at a toy store that was clearancing their items. It was called Victor's Toys, and I think it was on Van Nuys Boulevard, and they were clearancing out all their figures. And the only thing they had was they had quite a number of them actually, was of this American. And then I got some. Those aren't socks, by the way. Those are supposed to be his leggings or gaiters. And of course, he's got the. You know what happens to this guy's bayonet is what happens to old men, but I'm not going to get into that. But these are great figures. I've always loved Britain's detail figures. I have quite a number of their 7th Cavalry figures and Indians and Cowboys. I have more of these World War II figures. Uh, None of the Americans. I just didn't, I don't know. I just like the Brits better for some reason, and the Germans. So I got quite a number of those still in storage that I haven't discovered yet. Well, his barrel is really droopy. Got a droopy barrel. Um, so up here we have Timmy toy soldiers or MPC. I think Timmy and MPC merged at one point, and I think there's a company now that's producing Timmy toys again. I was online and I found this company that was producing their tanks, and I didn't see any trucks because I'd really like to buy some of their trucks. I always liked those. But you can get them in blue color, and I urge you to look up their website if it's kind of fun to browse, and you might be inspired to buy something. Who knows? Now, these figures by today's standards are not very good. However, in the 1960s, these would have been quite satisfactory. The kids wouldn't have thought any different of them compared to Marx. They might prefer Marx, but in terms of poses and quality, they're quite similar. And these, of course, are manufactured in the United States. So we have a comparison here for you. We have figures made in England, which you see down here. By the way, the reason why this one here and this one here is a little different looking is because I painted them, and I did a terrible job. You can actually, oh God, that's awful. Anyway, I shouldn't have even pointed that out. Maybe you wouldn't have noticed. Uh, it's like when you have a pimple and you're very self-conscious of it and you keep picking at it or trying to hide it, people will notice it right away. Whereas if you left it alone, they wouldn't even look at it. Same thing with my paint job. I don't know if that's a great metaphor or not, but there you go. So I think in this contest, Britain wins. Sorry, guys. Well, that's all I got for you this time. I'm going to, the reason I'm sort of rushing through videos now is I've got all these tubs of toy soldiers in my bedroom, and I'm getting tired of stepping on stuff. So I decide, well, I'll just hurry up and plow through it and hope that I can at least do a good enough job that I can hold your interest. Uh, so that's it for this time, guys, and I will hit the dusty trail. I'll see you back at Roy's Ranch. Happy trails to all of you. Take care of each other. Be good. Get your figures out. Set them up. You would be amazed at how enjoyable it still is. It relieves a lot of stress from your day and absorbs your attention, and it will make you go to books and resource materials and look things up, and you'll just be lost. And that's what you want with a hobby, is to be so diverted from the drudgery of your everyday life or working life, unless you have a job you like, which some people do. I would like my job, except that I'm standing on my feet too long. 4 hours would be just right. But anyway, I seem to be drifting off. What was I saying? I think I was saying goodbye, wasn't I? So let's say goodbye. Bye.